everybody!
Hi!
Yay!
Yay!
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to see all of you. Hi everybody, this is Sam Bennett from the Organized Artist Company, and this is my right-hand girl, Leonore Chia. Say hi, Leonore.
Hi, nice to see everyone.
Fantastic. Look, and you're all so prompt. I love that. That's very exciting to me. I really want to welcome all of you who have set aside the time to be here with us in this space, whether you are here with us live, which is extra double awesome, or you are making the time to watch this video later on. That is also pretty extra double awesome, because I know how busy you all are. I know what your lives are like. I know what my life is like. And finding an hour to concentrate on your creativity, on your bigger projects, on your deeper calling in life, that's not easy. That's not easy. It's not easy to find the time to do that. So I really want you to give yourselves a big pat on the back for being here. And just as we get started, I want to give a special big shout out to the people who are joining us internationally. It's very exciting that with this new world of the internet, we can connect with people all over the globe, and we do in fact have people all over the globe. We've got people in Amsterdam, and people in Italy, and people in Israel, and people in, I think I saw somebody from Hong Kong register, so that's really exciting for me too. And I want you to feel that. I want you to feel the energy of all these creative people all over the globe who are all struggling with exactly the same issues that you are struggling with. You are not alone, all right? So, okay, so people are jumping on. That's so great. Leonore, do you want to give people a little rundown on what's happening?
Yeah, sure. So, so great to have you all here. So happy to see you. So just to let you know, we have the chat, which you're welcome to type anything into. You have the option to type things both publicly and just also to ping us as the admins. There is a delay between what we see come through the chat and what we're actually, putting out on the stream. So it's like a 45-second delay. So don't be distressed if it takes a little minute for us to get back to you and answer your question, but I will keep an eye on it and pick up your questions. So just to let you know, if you are having a hard time with the quality of this broadcast and it keeps buffering and you can't see Sam, you can adjust your bandwidth usage just by mousing over at the top of the screen. There's a little control panel that pops up, and the fourth button over, which is like the ladder-looking lines, if you click on that, you'll be able to adjust your bandwidth usage, and you can lower that so it'll be a lower quality visual, but you'll be able to hear Sam and to keep up with the stream and everything she's saying. And the last thing is just that I'm here for you. If you have any questions, you're like, what was that? I didn't hear that. Can you expand on that? Feel free to just send out something in the chat. You can also email us at admin, A-D-M-I-N, at theorganizedartistcompany.com, and I'll keep an eye on that while we're here together. So yay, so glad that you're here.
Yay, me too. So yeah, as you guys are all piling in, this is so wonderful to see you all here live. I want you to take a second. This is a little unusual, but I want you to take a second to tap into the overwhelm. I want you to think about the projects that you wrote in that maybe you were interested in working on, or the ones that maybe you didn't tell me about, but they're pulling at your sleeve. Maybe they've been pulling at your sleeve for a long time. Maybe you even meant to get started today, or yesterday, or last year, or 6 years ago. And I want you to let that feeling that's keeping you from working on it sort of well up inside you. And those questions that keep you from moving forward, where do I start? What do I do? What if I can't afford it? What if it fails? What if it succeeds and then I have to be great all the time? What if people don't like me? What if I try it and I put a lot of time and energy into it and then it doesn't work? What if I do it and I succeed and then I make a lot of money and then my accountant embezzles from me and I lose all my friends and I end up at that waitressing job that I used to have in college? Whatever those thoughts are, really let them come up right now. Let them come up, and maybe even make some notes about them. If you do not have a pen and paper, you'll want one. I know most of you think better when your hands are busy anyway, so feel free to doodle and definitely take notes while we're working, because you will definitely have some ahas that you need to capture, because you know how it is with ahas. Like they feel like they're going to last forever, and then 3 days later you're like, oh yeah, what was that? Oh yeah. So go ahead and write them down. But really, just like on a scale of 1 to 10, how overwhelmed are you? How confused are you? How trapped in chaos are you? How trapped by fear are you? How annoyed are you with yourself that you have not moved forward on these projects that you know would make a big difference in your life? And even just on a scale of 1 to 10, go ahead and type it into the chat. Like 1 being like, yeah, no, it's okay. I'm not that annoyed. It's not that big of a problem. And 10 being like, I am super duper annoyed. I am super duper overwhelmed. I am super duper terrified. Let's see. What am I seeing here? Like Leonore said, there's a little bit of a delay between when I talk and when you guys type in and then when we see it. But even if you don't type it into the chat, go ahead and write it just for yourself. How big is that number? How hard is that level of overwhelm for you? Because the stuff that we live with every day, the projects that we live with every day, the things that we want to make an improvement on every day, but we don't, we sort of get used to that pain. It sort of normalizes, And sometimes we even make it part of our self-image. Like, oh yeah, I'm the girl who can't finish her novel. Oh yeah, I'm the artist who's always underappreciated. Oh yeah, I'm the mom who never has time to do her work or to write. So go ahead and just let that bubble for just 1 second.
I'm seeing a lot of 10s in the chat, Sam. 10s, 9s, 11s.
11.
Yeah.
Spinal Tap. Turn it up to 11.
Yeah.
Good. That's what I thought. So really acknowledge that for yourself. Like you have a really strong desire to move forward, and you are really emotional about the fact that you aren't. So just make a note of that for yourself. So now let's dive into the actual work. That was sort of the pre-work. And now let's dive into the actual work of what we're doing. And I'm going to start the way I love to start everything, which is with just a little bit of breathing. And it's just 1. We're going to inhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 7, exhale for a count of 8. We'll do that 1 time. If you want to ignore it, that's fine. If you want to say a little prayer or set an intention for yourself, that's fine. But really take this moment to center in to you, to feel the inside of your body. So if you can drop your shoulders down and back a little bit, let your belly go really poochy soft, like that. And you can think of your inhale like a pebble dropping into the bottom of a well as it goes right into your belly. You ready? Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thank you. Thank you for doing that with me. And now here's what I want you to notice. How much calmer are you now than a minute ago when you were thinking about how overwhelmed you are? Step 1 in overcoming overwhelm, step 1 in how do you start when you don't know where to start, is to center into yourself, to center into your own breath, to remember your body and the goodness of your body, to get into a place of serenity, calm anyway. So that's step 1, and it's really hard to do because when you're under pressure, especially when you're under mental pressure, especially when you're being really hard on yourself, and I know that most of you are extremely hard on yourselves, The temptation is just to keep the thoughts going and to get more and more agitated and to feel like, well, maybe I should do something, maybe I should do that, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do this. And here's what I notice is this action, mentally or physically, keeps the money away. It keeps the joy away. It keeps the calm away. So next time you find yourself overwhelmed, next time you find yourself not knowing what to do, not knowing where to start, not knowing if it's the right thing or not, take a moment. And if you have to excuse yourself and go to the restroom, do it. If you have to tell everybody, hello, I'll be back in 2 minutes, do that. Really take the time to do whatever breathing works for you so that you can feel the space in your life. You can feel the space that you have in which to make the smart decisions. Okay, so that's step one. If you're taking notes, if you're a note taker, that's note number one, is notice how agitated you get when you think and you overthink, and notice how calm can help move you past that. I want to tell you 3 things that I think will also help you with your overwhelm. And I want you to listen to me very closely. Number 1, your idea is great. You have a great idea. That thing you want to do, that project you want to work on, that certification you want to get, that clutter you want to clear, that project you want to write, that screenplay, that novel, that blog, those clients you want to get, that money you want to make, it's a great idea. And I know it's a great idea because you told me what they were. So many of you wrote in what your projects are. And I got to tell you, I've been doing this for like a jillion years now. I've heard a million different projects, and I've never heard one that I thought, that's a terrible idea. Every idea that everybody's ever had, and I'm not being disingenuous. I mean, that's not like I don't apply my critical thinking skills. I mean, like people tell me their ideas, and I go, yeah, I think that'll work. So if part of your overwhelm is not being sure if your idea is really a very good idea, take the no. It's a great idea. You wouldn't have it if it weren't a great idea, and it certainly wouldn't be hanging around still in your brain. It wouldn't be still tugging on your sleeve if it wasn't a great idea. But my mentor says, and I think he learned it from his mentor, that desire is placed on your heart by God. So that great idea is actually your engraved invitation from the divine. Let that soak in. Breathe into that for a second. My idea is a great idea. Go ahead and say it out loud even. And if you're somewhere where people can hear you, just pretend like you're talking on the phone. Yeah, my idea is a great idea. Because your idea is a great idea. Here's the second thing I want you to know. You can do it. You can do it. Whatever that idea is, you have the power to execute it. You can make it happen. And I know you can make it happen because you're here. People who show up to events like this, people who register for events like this and then actually show up, then actually watch the video, those are the people who can get it done. There are a lot of dreamers out there, people who just like stay in floaty land. I don't know if they can get it done, but you are here. And that tells me 100% you can get it done. So if part of your overwhelm is, I'm not sure I'm the right person for the job, or I'm not sure I'm good enough, or I'm not sure I'm qualified enough, or I'm not sure I can really, handle it, I'm here to tell you, you can handle it. You are the right person for that job. You are the right person for that project. Right? So number 1, your idea is a great idea. Number 2, you can do it. I know you can do it. And number 3, now is the right time. Now is the right time. And I know you're feeling like, no, Sam, now's not the right time. I mean, it's the fall, the kids are back in school, I don't have the money, my elbow hurts, the roof is falling in, the dog's legs fell off, this is not the right time. I'm here to tell you it's the right time. And I know it's the right time. And I know it's the right time, partly because I know you can do it, because it's a great idea, because you're here, and because now is the only time. Now is the only time there is. There is no other time other than now. There is no other later. We are not here forever. We do not have an unlimited amount of time in which to do our projects. The fact that this project is pressing on you hard enough to make you come to this video webinar tells me that now is the perfect time. Is it the most convenient time? Probably not. But success isn't usually convenient. So, if your overwhelm has been, I'm not sure if it's a good idea, I'm here to tell you your idea is great. If your overwhelm has been around, I'm not sure I can do it, I'm here to tell you I know you can do it. And if your overwhelm has been around, oh, it's not really the right time, I'm here to tell you now is the right time. Now is the right time. So just soak that in. Like, this is your permission slip from the universe, okay? And if people question you about it, you can say, Sam Bennett, leading authority on creativity and productivity, told me that my idea was a great idea and that I could do it and that now was the right time. Just go ahead and tell them that, because it's true. I want to check in with the chat super quick and just see if there's anything that I haven't answered, or anything that's confusing or upsetting or causing,
Nope,
angst.
we're all good, Sam. Just seeing a lot of numbers still coming in, 11, 9, 8, 5, 4. Feel like so much is coming in on me all at once. I'm extremely frustrated with my procrastination. It's enough already, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, good. Excellent. I applaud your frustration, because frustration is the marriage of anger and impotence. So, and especially women, I think, tend to minimize their feelings a little bit by calling it frustration. Like, oh, I'm not angry, I'm just frustrated. No, you're angry. You're angry because you know you have a great idea, and you know you can do it, and you know now's the right time, and you're mad that you haven't done it, and that's okay. That's good energy. That's good creative fire. That's to harness that. And the other half of it is that feeling of impotence, right? That feeling of, oh, I want to, but I can't. And I want you to really take a look at that, because I'm going to bet that you can. I'm going to bet that you can. So yes, this is your permission slip. World-renowned creativity, productivity specialist Samantha Bennett has told you that you have a great idea, now is the right time, and you can totally pull it off. And for those of you who don't know me, that actually is kind of my title. I created a business called the Organized Artist Company. Well, I started doing the work of the Organized Artist Company about 15 years ago. I started teaching a workshop called Get It Done, and I would just do it like in a church basement with 10 people. And it kind of grew and grew and grew, and then it became the Organized Artist Company. And that's grown and grown and grown and doubled in size and doubled in revenue. Every year I've been in business till now. We're right in the middle of the 6 figures and growing all the time. I, along the way, became an Infusionsoft certified consultant, which means I'm an email marketing and automation, small business automation expert, which is hilarious to me because I never expected that. But there you go. I unleashed my inner geek by becoming an entrepreneur. And I wrote a book. I wrote a book called Get It Done, From Procrastination to Creative Genius in 15 Minutes a Day. Seth Godin called it an instant classic, essential reading for anyone who wants to make a ruckus. If you do not yet have your copy, please go to your local independent reseller, bookseller, or Amazon and get your copy today, because from everything I hear, it's great. I have also been running a lot of workshops. I have a workshop called Get It Done, like I said, that I still teach. I've done a workshop called Get Your Work Out There. I have a workshop called Creative Genius CEO. And I have a new workshop that we're actually going to talk about in a little bit called Start Right Where You Are. So put a pin in that idea that I have a new workshop that I think might be interesting for you. And, you know, I went from being an actor in Chicago and then in Los Angeles, and I was always juggling like a billion part-time jobs. I worked in offices, I worked in production, I produced radio shows, I delivered flowers, I cocktail waitressed, I walked dogs, I watered plants, I rehabbed houses. Like, there was not a gig I did not do. And it was hard. It was really hard. And my acting career was going pretty well, but as some of you may know, even when an acting career is going well, that doesn't mean it's necessarily very lucrative. So I was juggling a million part-time jobs, plus I was acting full-time, a lot of the time for free, sometimes for money. And every day was a struggle. I was exhausted. I was overwhelmed. I was frustrated. I was angry with myself for not achieving more. And I remember bursting into tears in the Target because I could not afford a new pair of yoga pants. I was working so hard, 7 days a week, 14 hours a day, and I did not have an extra $16 for a pair of yoga pants. And that was one of the moments that made me go, something has to change. This is ridiculous. This is not any way to live. And here's the thing, the problem was not that I wasn't working hard. In the same way that the problem is not you're not a hard worker. Of course you're a hard worker. You guys are the hardest workers I know. Creative people, this whole thing in the culture of like, oh, creative people are flaky or they don't get anything done, that's ridiculous. Creative people work harder than anybody I know. So it's not that you're not a hard worker. That's not the problem. It's not that you're lazy. And the problem is not that you're not good enough or talented enough. That wasn't my problem either. It wasn't that I wasn't good enough. I was plenty good enough. And the problem was not that, oh, I should just focus on one thing. You know, you should just focus on one thing, and then you'll be successful. Do you hear that from people? I think that is a load of hooey. I think that people who like to focus on one thing should focus on one thing. And those of us who like to have, you know, several projects going on at once should have several projects going on at once. I find that I do better when I'm just like this much in the red zone of too busy. Not way too busy, but just a little too busy. So the problem for me was not that I wasn't working hard, it's not that I wasn't good enough, and it's not that I needed to just focus on one thing, any more than for you, the problem is you're not working hard, you're not good enough, or you just need to focus on one thing. The problem, the real problem, was that I did not know how to hear and obey my inner wisdom. I did not know how to calm down, how to center in, how to hold on to my center, and have the conviction and the confidence to move forward on the projects that I knew were right for me, even when they seemed kind of crazy for everybody else. And it was a little touch and go. Like, sometimes I would get flashes of intuition, like I'm sure you do. You get those little flashes, and you're like, oh, that's good. And sometimes I would follow those intuitions, but I very rarely kept it up. I usually caved. You know, I'd wake up in the morning with some idea of like, you know what I think I should do today? Like, I think I should this and such. But then somebody else would ask me to do something, or somebody else would need something, or somebody else would want something, or I would get some other pressure inside of my mind, and I wouldn't do it. I'd bail out on myself. It wasn't that other people were keeping me back. It was me. I was keeping me back. I was afraid. That's really what it was. I was afraid. I was afraid to tell people no. I was afraid that people wouldn't like me. I was afraid that if I made too much money, I wouldn't be in the club anymore. I was afraid that I would be seen as bossy or pushy. I was afraid that I would be seen as a quitter. I was afraid that if I wasn't constantly working really, really hard, that I wasn't actually earning my place in the world. And it took some serious work to get over that. Here's what I want you to notice is all that mental chaos that I was suffering from, that you may be suffering from, that people won't like me, I don't know how to handle the money, what if it goes wrong? All that chaos, that's a lie. It's all just a big fat lie. And it's that thing of all those pressures and all those things that seem really real, and you keep sort of grabbing at them, and this, I swear to you, this action keeps the success away. It keeps the money away. It keeps the prosperity away. It keeps the calm away. So what I needed, and what I think you need, is not to work harder and not to be more strategic and not to have more money and not to have a better schedule. It's to stop with the this. It's to stop with the chaos. Stop with the lying. The lie is, I don't know what to do. Yeah, you do. If you calm down and center for a minute, of course you do. And then you need to give yourself permission to do it. And then you need to hang on. Because you need to hang on to that conviction all the way through. So, chaos, I don't know how to start, I feel overwhelmed, looks like this. Calmness and clarity looks like, I can do this. I know I can do this. I am doing this now. Do you feel the difference? And can you pull the switch in your own mind? Can you sort of let yourself go over into that calm? If you just said to yourself, yes, I know I can write that book. I am writing that book right now. I know I can get more clients. I know I can. I am getting more clients right now. I know I can clear that clutter. I am clearing that clutter right now. I know I can get my health under control. I am getting my health under control right now. And when you are in that calm, centered, determined, convicted place, mountains could not stop you. Hot lava will not stop you. Nothing will stop you. When you are in that calm and convicted place, the money shows up, doesn't it? The help shows up, the support shows up, the resources show up. And not because of anything magical, it's because that's where your focus is. Because you are focused on the solution instead of on the problem. You are focused on how you are doing it and not on all the reasons why you can't. But it's hard. It's hard to hold on to that center the whole time, especially when you've got some deeply ingrained patterns. I was talking to a friend the other night who's got a small business, and she said she was afraid to grow her business because then she was going to have to be more professional. And she was sort of letting herself skate a little bit by being kind of in chaos and not really having her shit together. I was like, wow, okay, well, that's one way to work that decision. Can you imagine what would happen if she raised the bar for herself and said, no, I am doing this. I am growing this business. I am this calm professional. I will make this happen. I am making it happen right now. What would happen if you said that for yourself? What would happen if that happened for you? Go ahead and make some notes. Go ahead and doodle. How are we doing on the chat? Anybody having any? I can't believe everybody's still here. That's so great. I love it when everybody comes and then everybody stays the whole time.
Yeah, it's awesome. Let's see. Bobby says, I use several things going at once because I get bored if I have to stick with one from beginning to end. My creative outlets mingle and often encourage me from one to the other, but the finish is often a long ways away.
Yeah, that happens. That happens. And, you want to have, for those of you who have a bunch of different projects, you just want to have projects with different timelines. So not everything comes due all at once, right? So you're at the beginning of working on one project, you're sort of in the middle of another one while you're finishing up a third, maybe. All right? It's not bad to have a couple different projects. And notice I'm talking about 3, not like 10. Okay. All right, so I want to give you guys my #1 tip for saying no, because I know this is part of what's keeping you in chaos and overwhelm is you just can't say no to have people say, hey, can you help me? Hey, can you do this? Of course they're asking you to do stuff because you're great. You're super talented, you're super smart, you're very driven, you work really hard. Of course they're asking you to set up the flowers for the party and come early and stay late and do this extra thing and do that extra thing. Of course they are. So, and they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop asking you. So you need to stop saying yes. So I want to give you my #1 tip. It's very, like a lot of this, it's very simple, but it's very deep way to say no. But before we do that, I want to take, I'm guessing this will take 3.5 minutes. It might take 4 minutes. But I want to talk to you about this new class that I have going on because it's all about exactly what we're talking about right now. So if you're the kind of person who's like, oh, I hate these pitch things, I don't want to take a class, that's fine, go ahead and doodle. It's 3.5 minutes, you can wait. And like I said, I've got a great tip for you on the other side. But I think you might be interested in this because, like I said, I've created a lot of courses over the years. Get It Done, Get Your Work Out There, Creative Genius CEO, the What If workshop, and they're all very project-oriented. They're about your schedule and your marketing and your budget and let's, get it on paper and let's get it handled. And what I realized last year was that there was a really significant part of the creative process that I was not talking about. There was a really significant part about being an artist and a creative person that I was not really discussing, at least not directly. And it's this part about the conviction. It's the part about staying centered. It's the part about being courageous. And courage comes from the French word coeur, for heart. Courage comes from the heart. It's the strength of the heart. So I created Start Right Where You Are to talk about that half of it. And we did it last year, and it was super successful. It was a $500 class, and worth every dime. It was really, people had some really amazing breakthroughs from that workshop. This session is a lot less expensive because I'm kind of in love with it. I really wanted to make it available for everyone. So we start next Tuesday, October 7th. It's 8 sessions, including 2 live Q&A calls with me. And it's $197. It's audio only, so you don't need to be tied to your computer. All the sessions are available for download. You can listen to them anytime. And it's really, like I said, I realized I could give you every tip and every strategy under the sun, but if your head was not in the right space, it wasn't going to make any difference. And I'll prove it to you. I'll prove this idea to you. Let's say you wanted to double your income. Does anybody want to double their income? Go ahead and raise your hand. Spiritually speaking, raise your hand. I'm like, yes, I would love to double my income. If only I could double my income, then everything would be a lot better. And I know a lot of you are entrepreneurs or you have clients or services, right? So here it is. Here's the way to double your income. Ready? Double your prices. Double your fees. That is an instantaneous way to double your income. And I'm not joking. Most of you, I think, could stand to double your prices and then offer a money-back guarantee. Start Right Where You Are class comes with a money-back guarantee. Double your prices, offer a money-back guarantee. Now, so here's the litmus test. If you heard me say that and just went, oh, I could totally do that. Yes, good, problem solved. Then you know what? You probably don't need this workshop. But if you thought, oh, I can't. Oh, no, what would I do? Nobody's going to pay that much. I couldn't possibly help. There's too many. I couldn't double my, that would be wrong. Then this workshop is for you. Because the problem is not the strategies, the problem is not the idea, the problem is that you're not staying centered in the courage of your convictions. And that's not your fault. You know, we don't get a lot of training in that, and artists need it more than most other people. Entrepreneurs need it more than most other people. So that's what this course is about. It's about teaching you to stay centered in who you are and really supporting you as you do that, because, boy, it's easy to cave. It's really easy to cave. So, Leonore, if we haven't floated the buttons, we should go ahead and float the button so that people can click on it. So you can go to startrightwhereyouare.com and just check it out. You know, there's not that much to know. It's a pretty simple, straightforward class. It's about helping you stay calm. It's about helping you stay rested. It's about helping you clear your clutter. There's a whole class dedicated on clearing clutter. And yeah, like I said, I'm so in love with it. I'm offering it for $197 as long as you enroll before we start on the 7th. After that, it goes up to $297. You get a year long in the 365 Club, so you actually get a whole year of support. Those are, the 365 Club is a daily email and plus a monthly call with me. So even after Start Right Where You Are ends, you will still get another 10 months of support from me. You will also, if you enroll right away, if you're one of the first people to enroll, you will see an opportunity to book a private session with me at an extremely reduced rate. And as many of you know, I don't really work with people one-on-one very much. So this is an unusual opportunity that I'm willing to offer to those of you who want to take the plunge. Because I think you're cool, and I'm looking forward to talking to you. So startrightwhereyouare.com. Check it out. $197, satisfaction guaranteed. If you are not fully satisfied, your money cheerfully refunded. You know, if you give it the old college try and really feel like the course didn't deliver, I don't want your money. I will say this is not a like, oh, I forgot to use it guarantee. It's about satisfaction, so I want you to do it. And then if you're not satisfied, like I said, I'm happy to give you your money back. And I want to talk a little turkey on what you may be thinking right now. Because you may be thinking, oh yeah, I'm sure that's a really great class, and Sam is really fun. I'm sure it would be, you know, I'm sure it would be great. But, you know, I can do it myself. I can do this myself. I can do it. Honey, no, you can't. If you could have done it yourself, you would have done it already. If you could have done it yourself, you would have done it already. You need more support. It's not a weakness. It's not a failing. You're an independent person, and you're very strong. But you need some extra scaffolding in this area. So don't let that voice that says, I can do this by myself, don't let that voice trick you, because that voice is going to keep you from doing your project. And then when I offer this class again next year, you're going to be here 12 months from now going, why am I still here? Why didn't I listen to this a year ago? Why haven't I changed? Yeah. So set your pride aside if you're thinking you can do this by yourself. I mean, you will do it by yourself, of course. You're the one doing the work. But you need the extra support. And maybe you're thinking, you know, Sam, love, love, love. I'm sure it's really great. But even 197, like, that's, you know, I really can't swing it. You know, that's a lot. And I'm going to say, compared to what? Compared to not moving forward on your project? Compared to you being here a year from now? Where were you a year ago? I think it's worth the roll of the dice and 197 to see what you can accomplish when you stay focused and calm and clear. You're worth it. You're worth it. Your projects are worth it. I'm worth it. The work is worth it. And the world needs your art, and projects need investment. Every project needs investment. The project of lunch needs investment. The project of building a business needs investment, and the project of your heart needs investment. And the final thing you may be thinking is, now's not the right time. Oh, I'd love to. Oh, I super want to do it, but now's not the right time. Now's the only time. Now is the only time there is. There is no later. We are all old enough to have lost friends. We have friends and colleagues who are not here anymore. They are not here to do their work anymore. In their honor, I want you to take this moment and say, my work is worth it. I am worth it. This course is worth it. Because now is the only time there is. So go ahead and make a decision right now. I'm going to guess you guys are, like I said, are very intuitive people. You've got strong inner wisdom. If you're making a strong, clean decision of like, nope, not my thing, great, excellent, delighted. If you're making a decision that's like, oh, I kind of want to, I don't know, then do it. Just do it. Go to startrightwhereyouare.com and just sign yourself up. And if you're feeling a little upset, if you're feeling a little agitated, if you're feeling a little like I'm poking at you a little bit, that's a sign you should do it too. That's a sign you should do it too. So again, go to startrightwhereyouare.com. It's only $197, and you know, you'll start to see a difference right away. You'll start to see a change right away. This is what my experience is. Once you invest in a class like this or in a project like that, like the results start coming in just from having made the decision. So that's my thought. We'll be done before Thanksgiving, and think about the idea of showing up at Thanksgiving dinner and people go, how's it going? And you go, great. You say, let me tell you what I've done. Let me tell you what I'm working on. You can show up at Thanksgiving dinner with the kind of clarity and confidence that you have always wanted to show up at Thanksgiving dinner with. You need fear, no small talk, because you will have projects to talk about. All right. So I've got my special tip on how to say no, but I want to check in on the chat and make sure there aren't any questions. Do the classes meet every week? Yes, they're teleclasses every week. They're actually Tuesdays at this time. Tuesdays at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. And they're audio, so you can call in from wherever you are, or you can listen streaming online. And you can also download the MP3 and listen to those anytime. And that schedule is, you can see that at startrightwhereyouare.com. That's all spelled out. Good. Bobby says, yes, that's the secret, Sam, staying near enough to the quiet space that you can drop into it any time. Right, and it takes practice. It takes support. I'm here to tell you I could never in a million years have accomplished what I've accomplished so far being the person that I was being before. I would have found a way to sabotage it. I would have found a way to resist it. I would have found a way to not charge enough. I would have found a way to get exhausted. I would have found a way to get sick. I could never have launched this book this year and taken all the attention. Like, that's a lot of attention to publish a book. It's scary. I'm shy, you know? But because of the spiritual discipline, I was able to do it. I was able to hold on to my focus. And, you know, let me tell you something. I wasn't really sure whether I was going to say this or not. Because it kind of gets into a God thing, so hang with me. But here's the problem. When you let the circumstances of your life make your decisions for you, right? Like, I would be working on my project, but I don't have the money. My mother needs me. My boyfriend won't let me. My dog's legs fell off. It's not the right time. This, that, the other thing. You are making all of those other things more powerful than you and your divine spirit. So if you go with the theology that God or the divine or life force or whatever is expressing through you as you, that's how God shows up in the world, through you as you. Through you as you. Then the fact that, you know, you don't know how, that's not more powerful than you and the divine together. The fact that other people might judge you, that's not more powerful than you or the divine. You can't make your budget or your schedule or the television show or the whatever more powerful than you and your divine calling. God needs to stay God. Nothing is more powerful than the divine. Nothing is more powerful than the life force. Nothing is more powerful than the creative force, than creative energy. But when you make excuses, and when you let other things rip that power away from you, you're making them God. You're making those other things God. And they're not. So when you cling in, you plug in to that deep creative energy, to that deep certainty, you can make anything happen. And I know because I've seen it. I've seen what happens. I've seen the miracles. I've seen the amazing coincidences. I've seen the people double their income. I've seen them get the plays out. I've seen them get the books published. I've seen them make the movies. I've seen them grow their list. I've seen them double their clients. I've seen it. Every day I see it. I get emails every day. I know you can do it. And I know now is the right time. So go to startrightwhereyouare.com. Get yourself in the class, and like I said, be early. Do it fast, because I've got these couple of private sessions that if you want in on that, you need to be one of the first ones to enroll. And let's talk about this way to say no that I promised you, because it's really hard, right? We hate to say no. We hate to say no. And I especially hate to say no. I joke that I have a big button in the middle of my chest that says, I'll help. Somebody goes, oh, we need somebody to do this. I'm like, I'll help. So here's the way you do it. Somebody says, hey, so-and-so, can you do this thing that's, time-consuming and not lucrative? And there's two steps. There's two steps to this process. And they both involve getting off the phone with the person or getting out of the conversation. So step one is you get a little information about what it is they want you to do, and you say, oh, thank you so much for thinking of me. That's so thoughtful of you. I'm so honored that you would think of me for this project. Let me just check with my date book, or check with my boyfriend or husband or girlfriend, or let me, whatever. Just give them some excuse and say, let me get back to you after the weekend, maybe, or after tomorrow morning, or after 2 o'clock, whatever's appropriate. So you get them away from you. You tell them you have to think about it. Everyone will give you time to think about it. That's not a problem. And then I want you to get to that calm, centered place. Do a little breath. Tap into that deep inner wisdom. And really listen. And if you're me, you'll get one of two things. One is either the big gong of yes. It's like a bell going off in my belly. It's like, yes, do it. And when I get the big gong of yes, I say, yes, do it. Great, done. Even if it's expensive or time-consuming or I think it's not going to pay off. I mean, I don't argue with that big gong of yes, right? But sometimes I don't hear the big gong of yes. Sometimes I hear something that sounds like this. Well, I could probably do it. I mean, it's really nice of them to ask me, and I would probably like it. I mean, they're really nice people, and maybe it would pay off, like I would meet people later or something, it would be good for my resume or something. That kind of equivocating is my version of no. And I didn't know this. I was in therapy years and years and years ago, and my therapist, I was talking about a show that I'd been asked to do, and I was like, well, I don't know. I mean, it's nice because I don't even have to audition. They've asked me, but it's not really the kind of show I would normally do, but it'd probably be really fun, and I bet I would like it, and they're really nice people, and blah, 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 blah. And my therapist said, Sam, let me tell you something. When you want to do something, you do it. And when you don't want to do something, you equivocate. Oh my God. I had no idea. Like, I kept waiting to hear this big gong that said no. It turns out I don't have a big gong that says no. I have a big gong that says maybe. Right? So listen for yours. What's yours? In my house, should means no. I should do it. No. The only thing that means yes is the big yes, is the big gong of yes. So once you know whether the answer is yes or no, because you have checked in with your deep, divine, not to be argued with inner wisdom, you get back to the person and you say either, thank you so much, I'd love to, let's get started, or you say, thank you so much for thinking of me. Again, I hope you'll keep me on my list because I love what you and what you do. I'm sorry I'm not available at this time. And you know what? No one ever bothers you about it again. It's amazing. Like if you try to do it in that initial conversation, if they call and they go like, will you run the bake sale? And you say, no, because that's dumb. And they say, oh, come on, it'll be super fun, and Leonore will be there, and we really need you, and nobody makes brownies like you, and please, 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 please. Like, then you'll cave. They'll keep pressuring you until you cave. But if you say, oh, bake sale, that's interesting, let me think about it and call you right back, check in, and you either get a big yes for the bake sale or you get a for the bake sale. You call back and you go, I'm so sorry I'm not available at this time. They go, okay. I swear to you, I've done it a million times and it works every single time. I've never had anybody give me hassle about it. So there you go. That's how to say no. Without actually having to say no, that's how to protect your schedule and protect your time, because I'm here to tell you, if you are going to get your work done, you're going to have to say no to some stuff. You're going to have to say yes to some things, and you're going to have to say no to some things. My suggestion would be to say yes to the startrightwhereyouare.com and say no to all the time-consuming, non-paying projects that people keep asking you to do. That's just my thought. Let's see. Robin says, thanks for the pep talk and fantastic reminder to stay present. Just say no with what is not in alignment. Listen to higher power. Co-create with the divine and be our amazing selves. Boom! Way to wrap it up, Robin. Exactly. Exactly. Trifedia reminds us that the number one of the top 5 regrets of the dying is, I wish I had lived a life true to myself. It's true. No one ever went to their grave saying, oh, I should have driven one more carpool, or oh, I should have spent another day at that crappy temp job. You know the work you're here to do. And you know why you're here to do it. And you know, underneath all that fear and anxiety about what will people think and what if it fails and what if I'm terrified, that's all perfectly natural. Of course you feel that way. We're tribal animals. We're very sensitive to the group. Of course you want the approval of the group, even as much as you don't give a crap what anybody thinks. At the same time, you really care about the approval of the group. That's totally natural. But underneath all that, you know that project, that art, that thing that's pulling on you is part of why you're here. Who are you to say no to that? And who are you to deprive the rest of us of it? Don't keep it in a vault. Don't wait until later, and don't think you can pull it off by yourself, because I'm here to tell you, you can't. So get support from me, get support from somebody else. I don't care where you get support from, but get support from somebody. I pay out ungodly sums of money for support, both technical support and also spiritual and emotional and coaching support, and I wouldn't do it any other way. I mean, I need it. I need it in the same way that you need it. And my coaches have coaches, and their coaches have coaches. I mean, that's, like I said, we're tribal animals. We're in this together. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. Good. We're just coming up to the top of the hour, which makes me super happy. I love it when we stay on time because I don't want to keep you any longer than I said I would. Leonore, anything I'm missing on the chat?
No, I think we're good. Tanya says, okay, I did it. I signed up and I'm shaking, and I hope that's a good sign.
Yay, Tanya! Yay! Welcome aboard. We're going to have a great time, I promise. Yay! Good, good, good. Sandy says, yes, I've allowed everyone else's problems to take over my time. I must get back to my own work. I will get back to my own work. Exactly. Exactly. And keeping that conviction. Keeping that conviction. It's funny. I mean, it's a little like, I was talking about this with a friend of mine who's been in AA for 25 years. And I said, you know, it's a little like getting sober. Like, on the one hand, it's not that hard. All you do is not drink. What's the big deal? On the other hand, it's the hardest work there is. It's the most challenging work there is. There's a reason those people go to 30 meetings in 30 days. There's a reason they go to meetings after 25 years, because they know they need the support. You need the support too. You need the strength. You need the skills, you need the strength, you need the focus. Like I said, I was kind of remiss in creating these other workshops that were all about like schedule and time and budget. Super useful. I'm not saying don't take those workshops because they're great. But without being in the proper headspace, without being able to have the grit and the tenacity to see your work through and to resist the pressures of other people, because some people will get really harsh on you. You know those people in your life who will criticize you and judge you and make you feel this small. It's so selfish of you to work on your project like that. It takes a lot of strength to withstand that judgment. But you can do it. You can totally do it. And watch who you talk about your projects with. Don't go to the empty cookie jar. Don't expect approval from people who don't understand or approve of what you're doing. Don't invite people who naturally criticize you to criticize you. Like, just don't talk about something else with those people, okay? Good. Excellent. Yes, classes meet every week. Plus, yes, you get some live Q&A with me for sure. Sandy says she's signed up. Yeah, I'm so excited. Good. One foot in front of the other. Yeah, Elise says, I'm not sure how this is different from your other course. Can you go over that again? That's such a good question, and it's one I really struggled with too, because, in some ways it's not different from my other work. All of my work is about helping you get your creative projects out into the world. That's everything I do. So it sometimes makes it challenging to write or talk about the courses and their differences because, the foundation of everything is the same. But this course is less about strategies in terms of budget or scheduling or marketing or, technology, and more about building up the scaffolding from the inside, helping you tune into your inner wisdom, your secret superpowers, your ability to say no and say yes to the things that are important to you, your ability to clear the clutter and get rid of the old stuff and feel great about it, your ability to stay in motion even when you feel discouraged or you feel like, oh, sparkly thing, maybe I should go do that. It's about really developing not just any mental discipline, but your mental discipline. What are the tools that you need? For me, it's my morning prayer practice. If I don't wake up and do my morning writing, my morning prayer work, my whole day is off. My whole day is off. And if I skip a week, forget it. But it took me a long time to figure that out. If I'm, this is sort of a weird one, but that's what it's about. It's about discovering what your weird sources of strength are. If I'm at my desk, and I had this during the book launch, where I would sometimes be at my desk and I would have this feeling of like, I have to do something, but I don't know what it is. And that pressure, that overwhelm, that chaos, I finally figured out that sign, that thought, is a sign for me to go to bed. It's not actually a sign for me to do more work. It's a sign for me to go to bed. And here's what would happen. Is sometimes I would get up, walk to the other room, lay down in bed, and sometimes I would immediately go, oh, I know what I need to do. And then I would get back up and come back to my desk and do the thing that really needed doing. Sometimes I would go to my bed, lay down, and sleep for 3 hours. Sometimes I would just read for 20 minutes and just, calm down. But it took a long time for me to learn that internal pressure of like, I've got to do something. I'm not doing this right. That was not a sign for me to work harder. It was a sign that I was tired and I needed to rest for at least a minute and get some clarity and recenter in. So it's not so much about strategies like, here's how to balance your schedule. It's strategies like that. And that's the kind of internal work and discipline that will get you through any crisis. It will get you through some terrible things. It's gotten me through some terrible things, and it'll get you through some wonderful things. But, you know, the old me 5 years ago didn't know that. Like, I didn't have that mental discipline. I would have just thought, oh, yeah, I've got to work harder. And then I would have worked harder, and then I would have screwed it up because I was putting so much pressure on myself, and then the whole thing would have flopped. I guarantee you the thing would have flopped. So that's, I hope that makes sense. It's about more the internal work than the external work. And again, try it. You know, if you try it and you do it and you're like, oh, yeah, that was dumb, I didn't like that, you know, that didn't work for me, I'll refund your money. I don't, you know, I'm not attached. Question came up. Can you explain the conference in June in San Diego versus taking course now? Would you still need to attend the conference? Well, the conference this summer is going to be much different than the conference last summer. But yeah, it is different. It is different. Again, the Big Yes, which is the conference that Daya is asking about, was very much about how it was, you know, the Big Yes, how to overcome procrastination, perfectionism, and self-doubt, and make $10,000 from your creativity. So it was very much project-oriented. What are you selling? Who's your ideal client? How are you charging? How do you want to do that? How are you marketing? Like, it was very technical. This is not very technical. This is, dare I say it, spiritual. So that's the difference. So yeah, I would absolutely do both. I think they really go hand in hand. Tanya says, can we email you if we have a quick private question about the course? Of course, absolutely. You can email Leonore, you can email me, absolutely. Don't see any appointments in the scheduling program after the first week. Are there other times available? Yes, there are other times available. Let me go in and fix that. I've been having trouble with time trade lately. The other day, somebody emailed me that nothing was showing up. So hang loose. We'll send you the link, or you can check back on the link later tonight or tomorrow morning, and there'll be more times available. So don't worry about that.
Yeah, and I just want to give a huge shout out and welcome to everyone who's jumping in. You're so courageous, and I see that 2 people have already opted in for that session with Sam, which means there are 10 spots remaining. So just throwing that out there, if that's something you're thinking about, it's at like crazy, stupid, low amount of money. Don't tell her coach.
Do not tell my coach that I'm letting you do private sessions with me for this little money.
Just don't tell on her. It would be bad.
I'll be in so much trouble. But I really wanted to offer something special with this course because I feel like this course is really special, and I feel like it really is very different than the other stuff I offer because of its sensitivity, because of its spirituality, because of its depth, and because of the impact. And like I said, we did it last year, and it was more than twice as much. It was a $500 course, and I think everybody felt at $500 it was a bargain. So, like I said, you're worth it. Your projects are worth it, and you know how it is once you decide. Once you commit and decide, the money just shows up. I don't know why. I don't know how. It just does. It always does. I've never seen it not happen. Yay! Okay. Any other questions? I don't want to keep you guys too much past 6 o'clock. You can find the information at the course at startrightwhereyouare.com. And let me just say this. The other premise of Start Right Where You Are is that you have everything you need to succeed in your project right now. Right now. You don't need to be better. You don't need to be smarter. You don't need certification. You don't need... you have it. You can do it. So we're putting you into inspired action right away so that you can do your work your way and have the impact on the world that you know your work can have. You know it heals the planet. You know it heals the planet when you sing. You know it heals the planet when you write. You know it heals the planet when you work with people. You know it heals the planet when you can show up at the grocery store or at your kid's school or with your partner feeling enlivened and refreshed and creative and joyful and have your sense of humor and your zest for life back. You know the impact that has on the world, the ripple effect that has on the world when you are centered in kindness. and not pressure and chaos and overwhelm. So make that choice for yourself. If that choice includes the startrightwhereyouare.com class, I cannot support you 100%. I'm so thrilled and honored for those of you who have signed up. I can't wait to start work. We start in a week, so don't wait, because the private sessions go away and the price goes up. Oh my gosh, I could talk all day about this stuff, and sometimes I do. Good. Anything else anybody needs to say before we wrap up? Leonore, thank you so much for being here. You're such an incredible support and such an incredible asset to the Organized Artist Company. I know everybody's fallen in love with you.
Oh, thanks, Sam. It's such an honor to be here. I love seeing how this work just supports people and opens so much up.
It is. It's so exciting, right? When you see people take the step and move through the struggle, it's the greatest work there is. I have the best job in the world. The best job.
And honestly, I think just the prospect of, showing up for Thanksgiving and actually having something good to say is like worth it. I'm signing up.
Right. I know. To have to have whoever that person is in your family, that one who raises their eyebrow, that one who always says the snide thing, and you can be like, oh, you mean my project that I've made incredible progress on in the last 6 weeks? I'd love to talk about it. Or, no, I won't discuss that with you. Let's talk about the garden. Let's talk about the kids. Let's talk about something else. For you to have the strength to withstand that person at Thanksgiving, because there is not a Thanksgiving table in the universe that does not have that person sitting at it. And you need the strength and the calm to get through it. Fear no small talk. That's my motto.
So
all right, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm so delighted and proud. Ashley's having trouble ordering. If you're on your iPad, that may be the problem. You may need to log in from a computer, from a landline. Sorry. Sometimes the templates don't work very well with the tablets. Templates and tablets, they can be a little mismatched. Jane says, I'm in. Yay! Oh, I'm so excited. This is great. Good. Share this with your friends. Do this with a friend. It's a great thing to do with a buddy. A great thing to do with a buddy. Good. Let's breathe. Let's close out the circle. Thank you so much for your honesty, for your integrity, for your time, for your showing up to this, for you and for yourself. You are so worth it. You're so worth it. You can do it. I know you can. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for doing this with me.